shining bright.
Gonna be on screen like this.
And we're shining the light on us like no other.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining in this week. We do have Charles. He'll be coming in shortly. He's kind of behind the wind as always. Thank you so much for joining in Smart Black Woman TV and on NPN TV. You guys, I don't know what's been going on with your day today, but I had such a wonderful day. It was a pleasant day today. Very nice outside. The weather wasn't too hot. We got a little cool down here in South Florida. We got down to, when I left out this morning about 7 o'clock, it was 55 degrees. So I felt a little coolness in the air. And it's good to feel that breeze every now and then. It gives you a little bit of a feel of cleanliness, like it's cleaning the air out, cleaning the air, all that sun and all of that hot heat that has all the bugs all around, the iguanas, things like that. You know what happens to those iguanas when they get cold? Boom, they drop. Which is good, and it feels like the air is just cleaning out, and I like that feeling. So how about you guys? What have been going on this week? What we have on the plate for this week? We had Damar Hamlin, which an NFL player. He had fallen and had a heart attack on the field last week. But thankfully, all the prayers through social media, all his friends, his fans prayed for him, and he is back. He's not 100% back. 100% is getting him back on the field. So I think he's still going through some medical attention, trying to find out what caused that heart attack that he had. I don't think they've resolved that as of yet. So it looked like some underlying health issues are going on with him. But we want to continue to pray for Damar and for him to get back with the Buffalo Bills and on the field. So your prayers are with us, Damar. And hopefully everything goes well. Another news issue that came about, there was a 6-year-old kid. Oh, I do want to say, wow, look at that. Look at that. Charles made it in the studio. What's up, Charles?
Right, finally. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing today?
We're doing pretty good. How was your day?
It was great. It was great.
Awesome. Tell us a little bit about your day. Down here we had 55 degrees, so the iguanas drop dead for a minute. They go in hibernation. So when it warms back up, I think they just wake up. So they're right now in hibernation, along with the mosquitoes and bugs and fleas, gnats, and everything else, I guess. What's going on in St. Louis? What's the weather like up there?
We had great weather again. We had weather in about in 55, 60 degree weather. Southern California, I feel like we're in Southern California here in St. Louis, which is odd for this time of year, but I'm not complaining, you know.
I know, feels good. Better than being like freezing cold. You guys were like frigid last couple weeks, and now you're way up in the 60s and 70s. Boy, I know. Y'all have to be careful because the flu season is in now, and usually when the weather is in and out like that, there's a lot of illnesses come behind that, a lot of colds. I haven't heard about COVID lately, but you know, some people are still catching COVID, have COVID, however, contracting COVID. And I don't know what's going on with their booster shot. So I haven't heard a lot about the advertising of the booster. I do know that many people has gotten the shot. I haven't heard of those booster shots being lined up. Have you gotten your booster shot, Charles?
Yeah, I've had my booster last season. I got the booster, but I haven't updated anything yet. I don't know. So that's 2 COVID shots so far. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go for round 3 and 4 like some people. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so how many booster shots are out there now? I don't even keep track of it.
I can't keep track exactly. Who knows?
Yeah, Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot that's going on with those shots and those COVID shots and all the different strains that come along with it. Because I know it's not COVID no more. It's like something else they're calling it.
Right. And I just try to do what I do normally, which is continue being clean, washing my hands, and eating fruits and things like that to keep a boosted immune system. Things like
Yeah,
that.
and that's good. And it's great to kind of take care of your health, right?
Right.
Make
And wearing those masks too. They say we're gonna have to start wearing our masks again. So, I
Wow.
mean,
So that means that COVID must be on a rise all over again.
who knows? And Michael Jackson, he walked around with a mask on for how long? Way before
Yeah, he was the
COVID. So
first.
evidently, he knew something we didn't know.
Right. He was the first. He got the news before we did. So he wore
Right.
his mask. We were looking at him like, oh, he's wearing a mask now.
Right.
Yeah, he knew what to do. He knew. He'll probably had a helmet on by the time COVID came out.
Right.
Oh, wow. So, you know what? There was a great story that I wanted to bring on today to talk about. And hopefully, we get some of you listeners to engage in this story. I'm not sure if you had it on the news there. CNN put this story out there. I haven't seen it on my local news stations. Maybe you have. But that is, it was talking about childhood obesity, and that's very important, and it looks like it's on a rise to kind of focus more on the children, because what's going on right now is the children are the behaviors that are going on right now. These behaviors are becoming into their adulthood, so they're focusing on children at age 13 and older to put medication and guidelines out there to kind of help them with their health. Charles, have you heard about that story?
And I have been hearing some things about it, not necessarily that particular story, other than what you told me about it.
Mhm.
And to me, it sounds like, I guess the system feels like parents aren't doing good enough with taking care of their own children, as far as what they're consuming on a day in and day out basis.
Yeah.
And I did look into this one story where in New Orleans, there's a new law that took effect saying that at McDonald's, they're not allowing children to have soda with their meals. So you can't have any soda with your kids' combos. You can only get milk, juice, or water. So, right. So I understand, but what does that mean about for the parent? What does that mean?
Yeah, but you know what? It helps the parents, to kind of steer their children in a safe and comfortable environment within themselves, because the children can get hurt. When you tell them you're fat, you're too fat, you need to eat different, and that's not the way you want to embrace your children. You want to kind of, calmly, change their eating habits the best way you can by giving them things that they do like, and cutting back on all the foolish eating. I mean, the McDonald's and all the French fries and the biggie fries and the biggie shakes. Children don't need uh, the biggie fry and the biggie shakes and drinks. Children need to you can take that away. When I was young, my mother didn't give us sodas, to drink,
Mhm.
and in any restaurant, if we had the privilege to go to a restaurant in times, we didn't eat foolishly when we were there. She was very cautious about how we ate and what we ate. And these are things that have been taken out of the homes. Do you feel that, Charles? And why? Why do you think that change has escalated as it is now? Because as when I was younger, there was so many less obese people, you know,
Well,
but now obesity is on a rise.
if I think about it, I would think about the single parent households, you know, where there's just maybe the mother or just the father only supporting that child, and maybe that parent has to work, you know, so that child is not necessarily getting all the nutrients and eating the right things, and I understand it, you know, but it's like a vicious cycle but which is okay. I think we have to pay. We don't know everything, and we all are human, and we're learning over time, and in order to evolve, you got to get better. So we're just noticing different things that we have to fix along the way. So I don't think it's necessarily, oh, you're being a bad parent. I think it's just we're just getting better with being parents, you know. But but I think that yes, like I said, that's basically what I think. Go deeper into
Yes,
it.
and you know
That's what
what?
it is.
It depends on, and it also depends if your children are home and you're working. It depends on what you're leaving there for them to eat. If you bring in all the junk food, the pizza,
Usually that's what's quick, and what you're okay with the kid cooking is something that's been processed and frozen from the frozen section, you know?
yes, and these things are affecting your children's health. You just focus on your child and help them to get as healthy as possible. And this is something that you can do as a family, not just focusing on that child because that child is heavy or anything like that. You also have to focus on the whole entire family in this lifestyle change, and these lifestyle changes are for the entire family. So when you bring that change into the family, you as the mother, if you're doing most of the cooking, and I'm saying that because I'm the mother of my house, and I tend to do all the cooking. So therefore, it's what I'm cooking, and I try to prepare meals that aren't too fatty. I bake my meals. I make them, and they're good, and my children like my food, and I also have fruit that is around the house, things that they like. The popsicles are good. Some of them have less sugar in them. So a lot of things that you can make changes to in your household and how you shop too.
And even meal prepping, meal prepping will help for those if you are a single parent and you're usually at work and your child is at home. And I know when I was growing up, there were times where my mother was working and I was at home, and and I would eat chips and hot dogs and just things like that. If I think about it, I wasn't at home making broccoli at 13,
Right.
so meal prepping would be a good solution to help with things like that. That way your kid is getting a meal that you cook them and not eating out from random fast food places and things like that.
Yeah, and also being more physical. We tend to, work all day, and we're tired a lot of times, but you have to be, you have to bring on some kind of physical exercises, in the house too. Not only everything is a lifestyle change. So therefore, if you're serious about, taking care of your family and living a long and healthier life, these are the things we have to do right now for our future, because those children that are right now having issues with obesity and things like that, all of those different things, it turns into diabetes, the sugar and everything. And we don't need the diabetes to take place in our children at young ages, because we want them to live long and we want them to be healthy. We don't want them to feel sick all the time and on medications and all these different things. So we have to do things to prepare for a better and healthier life for our children and also ourselves. And a lot of people right now I am seeing are focusing on their health, more and more. And this is a great time when you're working on your body and the changes that you're implementing within yourself. You also include your entire family in this, and this will it will be beneficial later on. It don't take but a couple of years, to really bog down on all the things that we're now accustomed to eating. In a couple of years, you'll feel so much better that you've made that lifestyle change, and you're able to share it with other people and your other friends, that can also benefit, benefit
Right.
with these healthy ways of taking care of yourself.
Right.
And I know Charles has, hey, Suave, how are you? Looks like we have Suave here. We are more people on the planet. Therefore, companies, farmers have to produce more food, more chemicals to grow food, animals faster to support the demand. Organic is not organic anymore. I
Mm.
think this significantly creates obesity. There are a lot more unhealthy chemicals in our foods these days. And you're absolutely right. We have to be more conscious of how food is being prepared right now. Thank you so much, Swab, for your comments. And he's absolutely right, because we
Right.
know that food is not the way it was when we were growing up, years
Right.
ago. Now, there's so many more people in the world. And now the high demands are causing them to put all of these hormones in these animals and make them grow faster. And then all of this is
Bigger
shifted
too.
over to our bodies. Yeah.
Bigger too. I feel like the chicken wings the size of a turkey wing now.
Right. Yes, I have seen those
For
big.
real.
Oh, yes, I know about those huge chicken wings.
Hmm. And they say it takes only 30 days for a chicken to hatch from the egg and grow to the size that they actually kill it and
Wow.
process it for the parts. They're only 30 days. So imagine what they have to give that chicken for it to grow to a full chicken.
Exactly. That
Hmm.
fast.
Right.
Exactly.
Because I remember
Yeah.
back in when I was in middle school, no, I'm sorry, elementary school, we had the little chickens in our classroom in grade school, and we used to waited for the egg to hatch, and after it was a chicken, of course the egg would go away. But it took a minute for that egg to hatch. When you think about that process, this wasn't a 30-day process. So it's scary. And just think of us putting that into our body. So
Right. Which came first, the
it make you
chicken
not
or
want to
the
eat
egg?
nothing.
Which came first, Charles, the chicken or the egg?
I know, right? For real.
So
Mhm.
yeah, these are some lifestyle changes that we can make for ourselves and our families. And hopefully, this segment can help you. And there are so many different healthy nutritionists that are online right now. Just kind of go through and scroll through your phones and your computers or whatever, your tablets, whatever it is that you may have, and look up nutritions, that you can include in your house. You want to make changes with your foods, some foods that are a little bit more healthier. It's best to go on the site, scroll, Google it. Google it. Google. You can Google anything today. It'll give you everything you need. They even mass produce artificial animals and vegetables. Yeah. So we
Mm.
got so much that is against us when it comes to trying to balance our bodies and what we're putting in our bodies. You're right, Swab. There's so many things that are being created and done now. You think you're going to be vegan, but the way they produce the vegan foods is you may as well you know eat the meat.
And well, you know what? There's a lot of new ones out, because at
Hmm.
first I used to feel like they're processing that food so much, and over time I think that they're getting better with it. And I know
Yeah.
Tabitha Brown, she came out with a lot of new items that I can't wait to try, especially
Hmm.
the burger. I love me a good burger. So, but I try to stay away from the beef, the ground beef, because it takes so long just to digest that beef. But there's a lot of good alternatives out here now, and a lot of things taste a lot like the meat, and it's a lot healthier for you, and you're getting your nutrition that you need with
Hmm.
it. If you don't like vegetables, a lot of the vegan food have the vegetables incorporated, but so it's made to taste like some fish or chicken, but it has all the vegetables and nutrients that you need to intake every single day. I know a lot of people, when you get older, a lot of people stop eating vegetables,
Hmm.
and it's still important to eat your vegetables. Don't just
Yeah.
eat the meat. Don't just eat the meat and the bread and the carbs. You got to eat the vegetable too. The vegetable should go with every single meal. That's what helps the meat flow through you properly when you have that vegetable in you as well. So if you only have meat, you're gonna end up being clogged up. I think they said when John Wayne passed away, he had what, 30 pounds of waste in his intestines,
Wow.
in his digestive tract, because of situations like that. You got to think about what we're eating now. And I was online watching cooking videos the other day, and they had deep fried ribs. And, and I'm like, oh, what are we going to deep fry next? It sounds good, but is it good for you? I know it may be good in that moment, but later on, it would tear me up the next morning, just with how sluggish I would be, and it'll tear my stomach up, And you move slower over time. You can tell the difference when you eat healthier. You'll feel lighter on your feet.
Yes.
You're grinding up the steps and doing things you don't find yourself doing too often, But yes, just being active and eating better, it makes a big difference.
It does. And I mean, these, and you guys, you have to listen to what we're saying here. We're not just speaking on this. These are practices and that we take on for our bodies. As you see, I've always been a small person, but I don't like bread, and there are a lot of things that I don't like, I just don't like bread. I tend to try to eat very little of it when I do eat it, but I can't. A lot of people like bread, and I'm one of those that just don't like it. I have drawn back from a lot of the carbs too. I eat a lot of vegetable, and now I am eating meat again. And in my eating regimen that I have, and I'm focusing on more is, backing up from meat 1 month and then going on, just vice versa, and then just having an equal balance for myself so that I don't feel as though, I want or, to crave for the meat every now and then. So it's a balance for me. But I have been feeling very well. One thing I can say, I haven't had any stomach aches. I haven't been feeling sluggish or anything like that. I feel light on my feet. So I feel like I'm still in my 20s, as far as health wise. As far as breathing, the difference is on my breathing. I think that's one thing I have to strengthen more in my breathing. But as far as my body and how I'm feeling as a person, I feel really good, So it is good to make these changes for yourself and especially when you get older in age, because now your digestive system is more challenged, and you have to try, and you really want to have your digestive system working at a normal pace. So
You
when
got
you
to
have
work
all
with
those
it.
bad feelings and clogs and things like that, it does affect you. So these are things that you really, have to focus on, especially as you get older too. And you want to talk about these things with your children and let them know, this is what we're doing, and make fun out of it. Don't make the children feel bad about changes that you're making in the house. If there are things that they don't like, just include them in your shopping. Find things that they feel that they will like. Say, okay, you don't like that, let's find something different. But we're gonna be eating different now. We're not gonna be eating so sluggish, because we do want to be healthy and we want to live long. So that's our message for today when it comes to your health and staying physical. Hopefully this is something that helps each and every one of you, and it's something that you can come back to us later on and let us know how you're feeling, how your changes are coming, and what effects that it is having on you at that point. We would like to know. And of course, I always say we're not doctors. We're just here to help, our friends, and let them know that the things that we practice for ourselves, we just try to share with you. And thank you so much for joining in with us and letting us know all the things and challenges that you may go through. And you have questions, we can kind of answer some questions for you, or we can guide you to some websites that you can look at and get that help. And also within your insurance, you do have a nutritionist. You can contact your doctors and let them know what you're attempting to do. And as I said, obesity. Obesity is on a rise, and I did read a story where in 2060, um, children under 20 years old at a rate of 675% increase so there'll be an increase of type 2 diabetes if you continue these practices in which we're doing right now. So if we don't change this, this is what we're going to be looking at. And we don't need our children to be diabetic, and neither do you. We need you in the same. So
Right.
thank you so much for speaking with us. We're going to have station identification at this time, and hopefully you're continuing to join in with us and engage in the conversations with us. Thank you very much. We'll be right back.
We're shining bright, and we're shining the light on us like no other. Neighborhood Planet, our neighborhood, our world.
Hey, looks like we're back in the studio, and we were actually waiting on a guest today. His name is Kenny Minion, and Kenny hasn't joined us as of yet, but he should be entering the studio pretty soon. He would like to talk.
I'm messaging him right now, and he's in traffic, so it looks like he won't be able to make it. We're just gonna have to reschedule him for another time.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's all good. He makes sea moss here in the area, and
Okay.
I've tried his sea moss. He makes different flavors, and sea moss is good for your health. It's can help with different diseases like diabetes and high blood pressure and things like that. And I generally use it if I juice, or you can also freeze it in your freezer as well, and just take a dose of it every day, just a small teaspoon amount every day. And it's good for you, just like it's good for cutting fat as well, just like what's the apple cider vinegar? It's like having a dose of apple cider vinegar. So there's a lot of different health benefits from the sea moss. And maybe we'll have him on next time so he can educate us on it really in depth, because I don't really know too much about it. I just know what I remember from what he told me,
Okay. All right, so we'll be Kenny will be joining us sometime next week or the week after, and we'll be having him on our show, and of course we'll introduce him to everyone. So hopefully you'll be tuning in so we can get some information, and we like information on our show.
Right.
And yeah, so now
We
I
got to
have.
spin it. Let's spin it. We can spin it. Since we were gonna have that empty slot, we just gotta wing it and come. And I'm got something for y'all. Let's see. We can come up with something.
All right.
What were you gonna say? You didn't know what you were gonna say. You were gonna freestyle it. I'm sorry because I was messaging him at the same time, and we just got back with it. He just sent me the message back at the last minute. So
That's okay. Sometimes we have some of our the people that cancel out on us, which is no problem. We continue to go on, and we're just glad you guys are in the studio with us, and I mean, well, in the show with us and viewing our show. Thank you so much, and shout out. I always tell my girlfriends, yeah, I was looking at your show last night. I always tell them, shout out, say your name, let me know you're here, and we do appreciate it, of course. Today is Wednesday, the middle of the week. I don't know what people had going on, but you know what? People had made New Year's resolutions. And
right,
just to go over some of those different things, I don't do New Year's resolutions. I'm a person of if I want to do it, if I get it, if I want to go, I just do it at that time. One thing about it is I don't make plans, these long-term plans and goals that I try to reach. I just focus on what I need to do. I prepare for it, of course, but it's just hard for me to make a resolution that I'm going to do this way this year. This
right,
year, I just look at 2023 as I look to rise and rising to do better than I did last year. If it happens, it happens. I didn't do bad last year. So, I'll be okay. I'll be okay.
and I hope a lot. I hope everybody's still sticking to it, even if you did have a resolution. And some people need that motivation for the new year to
Yeah.
actually push themselves to do something different. And,
Hmm.
and so I'm not going to say, oh, I don't do that. Even though I don't like to do that, I'm not going to knock anybody else that does it. But
Right.
and if you do need that extra motivation, then go for it. Just try to stick with it and be consistent. That's what I can say. And even whether it's the gym or whether it's just quitting smoking cigarettes or anything. And it's just about how serious you want to be with yourself, because at the end of the day, we're all adults. Well, we're adults. I don't think any children are watching, but as adults, we don't have anyone over our backs, making sure that we pay our bills and make sure that we eat healthy or do the things we know we're supposed to do. So it's just about how serious do you want to be with yourself? Are you blowing hot smoke up your own self or whatever?
Okay, Swab said, well, his show will be addressing healing and healthy lifestyles. We can continue with that. Thanks, Swab. We will. We'll be tuning into your show as well. And
Right.
yes, because we do want everyone to tune in to Swab's show so that you can know a lot of more about, your lifestyle changes. This is very important to us. But yeah, and just, going over the 2023. And again, Charles, like you say, yeah, it's good for some people, because some people need something to focus on and kind of keep them kind of in line with the decisions that they want to make and an attempt to make, so it's that they're just not procrastinating over it. Resolutions are a great start. Some struggle with creating goals, so they need that focus. Okay, all right. That's yeah, that's people. You're absolutely right, Swamp. A lot of people do need focus and to continue with it. Hey, King, Queen. Hey, Swamp. Oh, and this is Max.
Yeah, that's for the CMOS. That's my boy Kenny.
Oh,
He's
okay,
stuck in traffic
Kenny.
right now.
Sea moss gel.
Thanks for
All
stopping
right.
by, bro. And I
Yes.
wish I
Hey, how are you?
and y'all can message him. That's his name, Max CMOS Gel. And you can message him on Facebook, find him on Facebook, and he'll ship it out to you no matter where you are. And yeah, bro, shout out.
Yes,
But
thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. We can't wait to have you on our show. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We would like to know more about sea moss, and mainly I was asking Charles questions earlier. So, yes, I would like to know a whole lot more about sea moss. Thank you so much.
yeah,
And
mom, like you were saying, a lot of people are healing from all kinds of things. When you think
mhm,
about it, a lot of people are healing from trauma, past trauma, whether it's death, past death,
mhm,
death in the family, everything. And just people are all over the world healing from something. I feel like everybody's healing from something. So I love that we can come together and discuss different things that I'm like, as far as example, I'm working on healing myself from past traumas
mhm,
and different experiences that I've went through from past relationships and people I've dealt with as well.
mhm.
So hopefully I can shed light on my experience and help somebody else. So when we come together, we can all share our experience, and hopefully that can touch someone else. And I hope that one day I can touch millions of people all over the world with just my story alone. So I'm holding on to that goal. I know I'm gonna reach it one day, and we'll keep pushing. Until then, we'll keep putting out positive energy, positive messages every day. Wake up with that great positive energy, because if
Right.
you think about it, when I go online, um, and I stay on social media a lot, and I like to stay up with the latest thing and different trends and things like that. And it
Mhm.
helps with what I'm working on for my future, to secure my bag. So you got a reason why, but when I think about it, it's so much negative stuff on the internet and online, and just people that are unhappy with their own lives. So
Yes.
I try to put out something positive as much as I can. I am a funny man, and I can't help that I'm funny, so I'm gonna throw something funny out there every once in a while.
Right.
I'm not necessarily saying that to anyone. I just feel as though it's a funny post, so I'm gonna say it. So, but if the shoe fits anybody, no, I'm just saying, just kidding. But yeah, but there's so much negativity out there on the internet. I hate to add to it, and I just try to put out some positive energy to hopefully uplift somebody's day and change.
And that's awesome. We need that. We need that out here, and as many people who can join in, along with you to put out that positive energy, so that people can kind of take a different outlook on life and what they're focusing more on, because I feel like so many has people tend to follow trends. And it seems like to me that the trend that is going on right now is to say that um, they're depressed, and when adults start to constantly talk about depression and stress and being under weather about different things, it falls down on the children, and the kids start to say that they're depressed, and they're just using those terms, when people out here are clinically depressed,
Mhm.
and they're on medications, and they have therapists that have been working with them for over some years, and there are people out there because they're disappointed in certain things that are not happening for them, or something that they want. They get to a point, feeling themselves in a way that they claim to be depressed. I think we need to, as adults, focus more on what's real, either than what is not, because we don't want the doctors to think everybody is sick. in the world, you know, and everybody is depressed and stressed out. And here it is, you have everybody walking around on some kind of medications. You know, we don't need that. We really need to start focusing on the real life strategies and things to help us in our healing. You know, what is it that we can do in our healing, either than having it go, you know, pass through as a depression. Healing is imperative for our personal growth and development. Yes, it allows us to reflect how whatever trauma we have experienced and impact on our lives and relationships. Yes. So yeah, you know, uh, exactly. You know, we need to focus more on how to heal. You know, even with communicating with our friends. I have a friend that was going through a relationship, and because the relationship failed, I mean, every single day for years, we were happy and we were joyful and going through a lot of things. And then, you know, she had a very short relationship, and it got to a point where um, there was depression, that, you know, she started saying she was depressed. And then she got a phone call from an old friend, and all of a sudden the depression went away. You know, these are the things that I'm saying, that we have to live a true life of speaking out to say we're depressed about. No, you weren't depressed. You were just going through a disappointing time in your life, and you're okay by a phone call of someone else, and now you've gotten over that pain that you had gone through all in 2 weeks. That doesn't happen that way.
Right.
That's not what I would feel is depression, you know. And depression is real. You're absolutely right. However, too many are self-evaluating themselves and claiming to have depression. Exactly what I'm saying. At the times at And at times it's just someone having a disappointing moments that's only temporary. Exactly. And that's what a lot of people are going through, those disappointing moments, and we want to streamline those things. When we have our friends that are going through issues and things, whatever it may be, a relationship, a bill can't be paid, or you're losing your car, you know, because of repossession, whatever it be, a job layoff, whatever it may be. You know, my thing is to help people to strengthen themselves, give them avenues, or give them the word I'm trying to use, encouragement, words of encouragement, that they can do better. You know, it's okay for you. Everything is fine. You know, this is just a period in your life that is temporary. It'll go away and you'll be just fine. And there are a lot of people that are going through this when they don't have to, and they're getting on social media with this. So you know how huge it can be when so many people are getting in social media and saying they're depressed and they're going through things just because of these temporary moments. So, you know, I don't know if Charles, you know, some people that go through some things like that, and then you know the experiences of what you have gone through, and knowing how serious it really truly is. And then for some people to, you know, when you're reaching out to someone and then that person say, oh yeah, I'm depressed too, you know, and it's just not fair when a person is going through healing, and then you're trying to speak to someone and then they claim that, yeah, I'm depressed too because I'm doing this and that and the other, and it's
Right.
really not a depression that they're really going through.
Right.
You know,
And
these trends are getting out of control, really.
right. And
Yeah.
I found myself in those situations, and that's why I tend to keep my business to myself. Even if I am depressed, it'll be hard for me. I have a hard time expressing that in public, you
Hmm.
know. And I'm open, and I can talk about my feelings freely. However, I just don't. I'm not too open and with anyone. I'm private, a private person. But
Yeah.
I do feel like the more you do talk about it, the more you can learn about yourself, you know. But uh, I figured out I used to walk around saying, "Oh, I'm sad. I feel sad. I'm depressed. I'm just not there yet," you know. And I thought about, what are you really telling yourself? You know, you kind of tricking your brain to, even if you weren't depressed, you're gonna be depressed after telling yourself that, you know.
Over
And
and over, yeah.
and that's where it goes back to affirmations and how do you affirm yourself. And I still do that every day. You know, it's not something that, oh, just I went through a phase of having affirmations, and it's something, it's a different way of life and a different lifestyle where you have to affirm yourself and tell yourself positive things. And for me, I know how I love to pour into other people's cup. I just thrive off of pouring into others' cup. So every morning I have to start off by filling up my cup. You know, I have my tea, I drink my tea, and I'm filling that cup up as high as I can until it's overflowing with positive affirmations that I'm telling myself. I'll have it playing on YouTube, and I'll repeat every word after the person is speaking online. And it's simple. It's something that I automatically do. And I know that I can tell the difference from affirming myself and not. I can sometimes I'll wake up and feel like, oh, I don't feel like this and I don't feel like that. This is gonna be a crappy day. I can feel it already. But as soon as I get that thought in
Put
my
that in your
mind, I
head.
know, let me turn this on and tell myself some good stuff. You know, whatever you want to hear. If you want to hear that you are beautiful, there's affirmations to tell yourself how beautiful you are. If you want to feel rich, there's affirmations to tell you how rich you are. You know, and by the end of the day, or by the end of that affirmation, you're gonna feel like you're whatever you're telling yourself. And it's just about believing yourself. If you're not gonna believe yourself, you ain't gonna believe nobody else. So what are you telling yourself?
Exactly. And we have to try to help people as much as we possibly can to get that self-healing and control of what's going on in their lives, because we all have somewhat of a challenge to life that we have
Yeah.
to embrace every single day. And I try to share with people that everyone goes through some sort of a depressed moment. We have everyone has depressed moments in time. No one is just living a happy life, and there's no rocky road to it. It's not all smooth and bubbles and whistles all the time. You get a
Right.
little down every now and then, but you pick yourself up. You have to be able to pick yourself up and to be able to go on with your day, to be able to work every day and keep yourself focused there. Pessimistic attitudes can result in depression. Yes, positive self can minimize depression, not eliminate it. Exactly. So you have to, this is self healing. You have to do these things for ourselves in order to continue on with life and as happy as we want to be. If you continue every day to say, I'm going to be happy, I'm going to be happy. Yes, nine times out of 10, you're going to get more happy days than you're going to get sad ones. So yes, yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And
Continue.
you got to think about how that is going to affect the next person,
Yes.
whomever's around you, and whoever you put out that energy to is going to affect them the same way you putting it out, and they're going to feel it. And over
Yeah.
time, if that person feels like every time you call me, I know they expect some bull crap every time you call my phone. After a while, they gonna stop picking up the phone.
Right.
They're gonna know, okay, every time I pick up the phone, I know what to expect from this person.
Right.
I'm not picking it up because I'm on my cup halfway empty, it's half full or half empty, however you want to look at it. It ain't as full as it was earlier. So I know to go to take a left instead of going to the right today. And it's just about making responsible decisions for yourself as an adult. It's like
Exactly.
we know the things we should do, but sometimes we tend to be a little bit lazy or want to be fun, take the fun route. But I don't think as an adult you got to be responsible about everything you do, you know, and you don't get to take off from being an adult once you're an adult. It just doesn't work that way.
Right.
Every irresponsible thing you do, there's going to be a consequence to it, you know, whether it's if it is something as small as answering that phone call from that person that's going to bring you down, or that energy vampire, you know. But that's where I'm at with mine. You know, you got to protect that peace, and protecting your peace that's part of it. You know,
Yes.
protecting your peace is eating healthy, is working out, is
Mm-hmm.
hanging around productive people that are going to help build you up and not break you down. It's telling yourself positive things about yourself. It's all of that. All of that
And do
stuff together.
yes, and practice those things. You know, if you
Mhm.
practice those things, you know, you'll start to feel it. You know, and you're online, you're in social media. Say some positive things to people when you're scrolling through. It's not just the likes. Say something positive to make you feel good too. That person will in turn say something good to you. In turn, I think social media has guided a whole lot of things that's going on with a lot of people, and how we think. You know, we're thinking too hard of what we need to put out for people to read, to the point where people don't know how to embrace each other anymore. You know, so therefore, like you were saying, you know, when you go on social media, you've been finding so many negative things that are going on. Well, this has come about because of all these different social media platforms that are out there. This one got this going on, another one got something else going on. People are dancing in one of them, and then a lot of people are cooking in another one, and you see all
Right.
this greasy fat food being made, and it looks really delicious to all of us. And of course, all these different habits are you're bringing into your homes, and it's tend to seem to be affecting us. You know, so there are things we have to do to kind of, you know, make it different. You know, do something a little different maybe.
Mhm.
And I think this is a great conversation for many of us, you know, to try to address to one another. I have friends that I talk to every day, and we speak positivity and we laugh a lot. You know, life is about laughter and being
Yeah.
joyful as much as you possibly can. You don't always have to have all the money in order to be happy. You know, been I've had a couple of dollars in my pocket before and had the best time ever with the $2 in my pocket. So
Right.
it's all about flying out to California, where you see all this beautiful water, blue waters, and things like that. Life is
But
not.
I will fly out tonight if I had the flight. I'll fly out tonight.
But it's not all of that just to find happiness. You know, that's
Yeah.
basically what I'm saying. You can go and sit in front of your house and just enjoy that moment. You know, these things are things that you have to instill within yourself. Bring your expectations down to understand that happiness is not always those big things that you're seeing. I know social media can have people going, oh wow, she's traveling again and again and again and again, and they look so happy when they're getting ready to go on these trips. Sometimes I've been on trips and I was just as mad in the room and angry at it doesn't, just because you're going on a trip doesn't mean you're going to be all happy go lucky and jolly. Things happen just like they do when you're at home. At home. So, you know, these are things that we can do for ourselves. Self healing. He started to start in 2023 to get some self healing and to help others. And that is my goal, I guess. I can set and focus, and I know that I can keep in front of me for 2023. I guess I'll say that. And that's something positive, I feel, because I was feeling, no, I don't have any plans that I put in place to do this, to do that. But yes, that is an ultimate focus. And hopefully a lot of you will join in with me for 2023 to stay positive and focused. And self-healing is what it's all about. And of course, Charles, in your healing moments, and the positive affirmations that you give, and also all of your posts that you have been giving, and the changes that has happened in your life, hopefully a lot of people out here can see your posts. And I
Yes.
share them with many people that it can help. And hopefully this is something that we can spread throughout the world, and that is love.
Mm-hmm. And right, and I know that sometimes the Facebook is funny with my posts and things like that. So if you do come past my posts, please share it so other people can see it. I know that Facebook has done some things to the system where a lot of my posts are not showing and not populating, and they mess with the algorithm. I'm not sure why but it said that people will not be able to see them. My posts won't be as visible as some other posts, and I haven't quite figured out why Facebook is doing that to my posts individually, and not everyone else's. I'm still trying to figure it out, but hopefully once that stronghold is off of my Facebook account, I'll be able to spread that love like I've been trying to. And also, hopefully, if you guys can add stars to our videos and our lives and things like that, also send some stars and support our cause, and so we can keep the positivity going, and remember to help somebody, no matter even if you don't sow into us, help somebody out on the street, somebody that needs it, always do something for somebody else. And that's the way to get more blessings from the one and only, but that's all I got for the week. I hope everyone has a productive week and stay positive and be safe, and spread love, whatever, everything, all of that.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining in. See you next Wednesday. Bye.
Peace.
We're shining bright, and we're shining the light on us like no other. Neighborhood Planet, our neighborhood, our world. This program was made possible by Neighborhood Planet Broadcasting Systems, Neighborhood Planet Network, and from contributions to NPN TV from viewers like you.